You official on the Woody and Charleston White team. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm okay with being a snitch. But you is a snitch, too.
His management team's trying to figure out, they're fighting for their lives right now, man. Yo, who's a snitch? Who's not a snitch? It's a snitch.
Atlanta is burning with whispers, and the whole rap game is watching in disbelief. The city that once crowned trap kings and celebrated unbreakable codes of silence is now being mocked with a new name, Ratlanta. And in the middle of this storm stands Gucci Mane, the man who built his entire legacy on loyalty, silence, and never folding, now stepping forward to reveal just how deep the cracks run. Fans are shocked. Industry insiders are whispering, and social media can't stop buzzing. Atlanta's loyalty crisis has turned into a public circus. The question tearing through every timeline is simple but explosive. Who's really standing tall, and who's selling out behind closed doors? Whispers of secret deals, leaked calls, and hidden betrayals are ripping apart friendships, families, and fan bases. Once tight crews are pointing fingers, and old legends are being dragged into the mud while new names rise on shaky foundations. Gucci Mane's words have reignited the fire, leaving fans asking, has Atlanta's code of honor collapsed for good? Is everyone pointing fingers while hiding their own dirt? One thing's for sure, this is no longer just about music. This is about survival, reputation, and the shocking possibility that Atlanta's rap crown may never shine the same again. The stage was set the moment Gucci Mane broke his silence. For years, Atlanta rappers had danced around the rumors, throwing shade in cryptic bars, sliding subs into Instagram stories, and hinting at betrayals that no one dared to say out loud. But now, with Gucci himself saying the city has turned into Ratlanta, it felt like the gloves had finally come off. Emotions ran high across the industry. Fans felt betrayed, artists scrambled to defend themselves, and family members of rappers whispered that their loved ones were being framed by the very people they trusted most. Young Thug's camp exploded in frustration. Man, they twisting everything, bro, a voice said on a leaked jail call. Ain't nobody telling, they just trying to pin this on me. Yet at the same time, another clip surfaced showing him visibly stressed, allegedly throwing shade at his own brother on Funk, claiming even blood couldn't be trusted anymore. The internet replayed that audio over and over, dissecting every pause, every slip of tone, treating it like gospel evidence of betrayal. Gunna's world was no quieter. His plea deal remained the lightning rod, sparking furious debates. He didn't snitch, he just saved himself, supporters cried, while critics labeled him the poster child of Ratlanta. Entire friend groups split over this argument, with some refusing to play his music at parties and others doubling the volume as a show of loyalty. Then came the shocking twist. Pee Wee Roscoe, once believed to be the victim of Thug's alleged betrayal, suddenly hopped on Instagram Live. His words poured gasoline on the fire. Thug ain't no rat. Stop calling him that. A real rat cuts a deal to save their own skin. Thug never did that. The comments section erupted. Some praised him for standing up, while others dragged him as being brainwashed, or worse, pressured into playing puppet. Fans were left torn. If Roscoe says Thug didn't rat, who are we to argue? One fan posted. Another shot back instantly. Bro, you can't ignore the tapes. Just because it didn't make it to court doesn't mean it didn't happen. Meanwhile, Lil Woody's name kept circling like a vulture in the sky. His interrogation video, where he casually described violent plots as if it was small talk, became the internet's favorite evidence of Atlanta's so-called downfall. Memes popped up overnight. Woody photoshopped onto movie posters, headlines mocking him as the city's golden snitch. Fans laughed, but rappers close to the situation were livid. Y'all think this is a joke? People's lives are at stake, one affiliate ranted online. And while the chaos spiraled, Gucci Mane's name kept echoing in the background. People recalled his brutal honesty during past interviews. The times he flat out said, "I'll never snitch. I'll die first." Fans dug up old clips of Gucci from his prison days, comparing his silence under federal charges to the shaky optics surrounding Atlanta's new wave. The betrayal didn't just stay in studios or on social media. Behind closed doors, families were breaking apart. One insider claimed that Unfunk's plea deal left Thanksgiving dinners icy cold, with relatives quietly taking sides. He swears he didn't tell, but some people in the family don't believe him, the source revealed. They look at him different now. It's like a scar that won't heal. The drama reached such a fever pitch that even Atlanta's legendary DJs felt compelled to weigh in. One DJ, who'd spun for both Thug and Gunna, admitted live on air, "I don't even know what to play anymore. One song makes half the crowd cheer, the other half boo. It's like Atlanta's at war with itself. Every day brought another twist, another betrayal, another accusation. The rap community that once prided itself on unity now looked like a battlefield. And Gucci's Ratlanta warning was beginning to sound less like shade and more like prophecy. The drama only deepened when more jail calls surfaced. And this time, the voices were even more haunting. One clip that went viral showed Thug whispering to someone close to him, "Promises I made? Promises I kept? But don't tell the world." Fans replayed it on loop, searching for hidden meanings. Some insisted he was speaking in codes, protecting someone bigger than himself. Others claimed it was a confession of betrayal, the final nail in his reputation's coffin. Meanwhile, Gunna's every move was under a microscope. When he dropped his track Bread and Butter, listeners dissected every lyric like it was evidence in court. One line, "Somebody lied and I paid the price," sent shockwaves through social media. Fans speculated he was calling out Thug, while others thought it was a jab at Lil Baby. Either way, it added more fuel to the already raging Ratlanta fire. And then came Rose's bombshell. Once seen as a quiet figure in Atlanta's scene, Rose suddenly flipped the script and called out Thug directly. "He's the one starting all this division," Rose said in an Instagram live that trended for days. "He out here spreading fake stories trying to get people cut off. He even told Lil Baby to stop messing with me. That's the real snake move." Fans couldn't believe it. Ro, once tight with Thug, now painting him as the mastermind of betrayal. Thug clapped back in a phone call that quickly leaked. "Man, Ro's the real rat." He put people in prison. He even offered to testify against me and Lucci. "How y'all not seeing this?" Those words cracked the internet in half. One half screamed that Thug was being framed. The other half said he was projecting his own sins onto others. In the midst of this chaos, Lil Baby found himself unwillingly dragged into the conversation. Rumors spread that he'd cooperated in a past unrelated case, and that was enough to put his name in the mud. Blogs ran headlines like, "Is Lil Baby next?" And Ratlanta claims another one. Fans online went into meltdown. Nah, if Baby's gone, Atlanta's officially done. Baby himself finally addressed it in a podcast. His voice steady but heated. "I don't work with rats. I never have. I never will. Stop throwing dirt on my name." But by then, the damage was done. The snitch label stuck to people faster than they could shake it off. Even artists who'd beaten cases like Yak Gotti found themselves drowning under suspicion. Yak's trial win in December 2024 should have been a victory lap. He walked out not guilty on every charge. Yet fans refused to let go of the interrogation clips where he spoke too freely. "You can beat the charges," one fan wrote on Twitter, "but you can't beat the streets." The tension spilled into clubs too. Promoters reported fights breaking out when DJs played certain songs. One night, when Gunna's Fukamine came on, half the crowd sang every word while the other half booed so loudly the DJ had to cut the music. "I've never seen Atlanta divided like this," the promoter said after. "We used to celebrate together. Now it's like civil war." Through it all, Gucci Mane's legend grew even larger. Old interviews resurfaced where he stared dead into the camera and said, "I never told, and I never will. That's why they respect me." Fans plastered his quotes across memes, calling him the last real one left. And when people brought up his federal case, how he'd faced firearm charges that could have ended his career, the fact he never cut a deal made him shine even brighter against Atlanta's current backdrop of leaks and betrayals. The emotional toll on families was brutal. Unfunk, Thug's older brother, tried to clear his name after taking a plea deal. "Show me the paperwork where I told on anybody," he posted, frustrated. But even his own cousins, according to insiders, doubted him. "They don't see him the same anymore," the insider said. "He's Thug's brother, and that makes it hurt worse." If family can fold, who can you trust? Meanwhile, Lil Woody became a meme and a cautionary tale all at once. People mocked his interrogation video, but others whispered that he'd just signed his own death warrant by speaking so freely. "You can't sit with cops that long and come out untouched," one rapper tweeted ominously. The whole city was buzzing with paranoia. Nobody knew who was really loyal and who was quietly making deals. Atlanta's rap scene, once a tight-knit empire, was crumbling into factions. Some artists quietly cut off collaborations, fearing the rat label by association. Others doubled down, swearing loyalty but looking over their shoulders the whole time. "It's chess, not checkers," one producer explained. "Everybody playing defense. You don't know who's gonna flip next." And in the middle of all this chaos, Gucci's transformation became the ultimate contrast. After prison, he dropped the weight, sharpened his image, and built a family-focused legacy. Fans compared his discipline to the chaos around YSL and laughed bitterly. "Ratlanta needs a Gucci reset," one comment read. Atlanta wasn't just dealing with music drama anymore. It was a cultural identity crisis. The old Atlanta, the one that valued silence, loyalty, and unshakable codes, was gone. In its place stood a fractured city, mocked by outsiders, divided by insiders, and haunted by the label Gucci himself had sealed into history, Ratlanta. The city's tension hit another level when new clips began surfacing week after week, almost like someone was deliberately timing the leaks to keep Atlanta in flames. One morning, social media woke up to another interrogation video, this time with Yak Gotti's name trending. In the clip, he could be seen slouched in a chair, his tone casual, as if he forgot the cameras were rolling. "Man, I ain't even like that," he muttered. They know who really did it. The internet lost its mind. Supporters argued it was out of context, just another manipulation to ruin his name. Critics laughed, saying it was the clearest sign yet that Atlanta was drowning in rats. "Beat the charges in court," one fan tweeted, "but you'll never beat Twitter." The comment racked up over 50,000 likes in hours. Meanwhile, Gunna tried to push forward with his career, but every single rollout felt cursed. Whenever he dropped a video, the comment section filled with rat emojis. "You can't rebrand when the streets already branded you," one commenter said. And even though his streams stayed strong, the conversations online refused to let him escape the label. Young Thug, locked up and waiting, wasn't spared either. Another jail call leaked where he allegedly complained about betrayal inside his own circle. "I built this from nothing," he said, voice cracking with emotion, "and they turned on me." Fans felt the raw pain in his words, but others mocked him, saying he was finally tasting the medicine he'd dished out to others. Then came the twist no one saw coming. Pee Wee Roscoe suddenly started posting cryptic tweets. One read, "Loyalty ain't about silence, it's about truth." The entire scene erupted. Was Roscoe finally flipping on Thug after defending him so publicly? Within minutes, blogs ran headlines like, "Roscoe switches sides," and "Proof Atlanta's loyalty is dead." Behind the scenes, families were unraveling. A cousin of Unfunk told a podcast, "We don't even talk no more. Holidays got cold." Some believe him, some don't. It's like the family's split in half. Fans listening to the interview were stunned. The snitch drama wasn't just music beef anymore. It was tearing bloodlines apart. And in the clubs, DJs were facing impossible choices. "I can't play Thug and Gunna back to back," one DJ admitted. "Last time I did, 2 fights broke out. People choose sides now. It's not music, it's politics." The idea that Atlanta, once the city of unity and rap, had turned into this battlefield left older fans heartbroken, while chaos consumed the new generation. Gucci Mane's image was glowing brighter than ever. People dug up old interviews where he said, "I never told and I never will. That's the one thing I stand on." Memes crowned him the king of loyalty, with captions like, "9 arrests, 0 cooperation." Fans couldn't stop repeating the line, "Gucci never folded." Even rivals started admitting it. One industry insider confessed anonymously, "No matter what you think of Gucci, his beefs, his wild days, one thing's true, he never told." And in Atlanta right now, that's priceless. But the snitch storm wasn't slowing down. Lil Woody, already internet infamous, popped up again when a second interrogation video dropped. This time, he leaned forward, eyes locked on detectives, almost eager. "I'll give y'all what you need," he said. The video exploded online with millions of views in a single day. Woody wrote a whole book in that room, fans joked. But others pointed out the darker reality. If Woody's that comfortable, who else is? The paranoia spread fast. Rappers who weren't even involved in the YSL RICO started getting side-eyed. Even Lil Baby, who had nothing to do with the case, couldn't dodge the rumors. "Baby's name too clean," one fan argued. "Something's off." When Baby clapped back in an interview, saying, "I don't work with rats, period," the audience cheered. But online, skeptics kept the speculation alive. By summer 2025, Atlanta was practically split into tribes. Fans either shouted loyalty to Thug, backed Gunna, or claimed Gucci was the only true king left. Hashtags like Ratlanta, Jarsh Team Thug, and Gucci Blueprint trended every other week. The craziest part? Outsiders were watching and clowning the city. Rappers from Chicago, New York, even Law began posting memes about Atlanta being snitch central. One viral TikTok showed a mock courtroom with everyone wearing rat masks labeled with Atlanta rappers' names. Atlanta fans were furious, but the mockery wouldn't stop. Amid all this, Gucci Mane stayed unbothered. Instead of diving into the mess, he posted family pictures, gym clips, and motivational captions. "Focus, discipline, loyalty," he wrote under one post. Fans flooded the comments. "This the energy Atlanta needs." Others said, "Gucci's watching Ratlanta burn while sipping tea." The irony was brutal. Gucci, once the wildest figure in Atlanta's rap history, now looked like the calm, disciplined leader while the new generation collapsed under its own scandals. The tension reached a boiling point when another leak, this time an alleged jailhouse conversation between Thug and a close associate, hit the internet. In the audio, Thug's voice carried both exhaustion and anger. "I ain't never folded, but they painting me like I did. If they can do this to me, they can do it to anybody." Fans immediately split. Half believed it was proof of his innocence, half said it sounded like desperation from a man cornered. The hashtags Chow Free Young Thug and Chow Ratlanta trended side by side, each with thousands of posts arguing opposite truths. Gunna, trying to move forward with music, found himself drowning under the weight of constant accusations. When he performed at a packed venue in Houston, cameras caught a mix of fans screaming every lyric and others booing so loud it nearly drowned out the sound system. "This the definition of divided," one concert goer tweeted, the video quickly hitting millions of views. His team rushed to spin the moment as proof of his continued relevance, but critics used it as evidence that the streets had turned their back on him forever. The family drama only added fuel. Unfunk, Thug's brother, tried to defend his name yet again, but this time he broke down during a late-night live stream. "Y'all don't understand," he said, voice shaking. "My own blood thinks I folded. My own people look at me sideways. But I never told. I never did that." Comments flooded in, some supportive, others mocking. "If you gotta explain it that much, you guilty," one viewer typed. The live ended abruptly, leaving fans buzzing about whether they had just witnessed a man cracking under the pressure. Then came the Roe versus Thug saga, which spun into an even nastier spiral. Roe doubled down, accusing Thug of masterminding smear campaigns and intentionally dividing Atlanta's rap community to keep himself in power. "He poisoned the well," Roe said in a radio interview. "He turned people against each other just to save his own name." Almost instantly, Thug's loyalists hit back, claiming Roe was projecting his own sins. "Roe's the one who'd been talking to the feds," one affiliate posted. "And now he mad Thug called him out." Atlanta felt like a chessboard where every move came with betrayal. As if things couldn't get worse, Lil Woody made headlines yet again. This time, not for a leak, but for going live himself. Sitting in a dimly lit room, hoodie pulled over his head, he spoke directly into the camera. "Y'all keep calling me the snitch, but I ain't the only one. I still got more rats than cheese in a trap house. And guess what? Thug in that same club now." The comments exploded. Fans screamed in disbelief. Others laughed at the audacity. The clip spread like wildfire. And suddenly, Woody wasn't just the golden snitch. He was the one openly accusing the very man he once followed. And through all of it, Gucci Mane's aura grew untouchable. Fans and critics alike couldn't ignore the stark difference. While others scrambled to defend their reputations, Gucci's silence stood louder than any leaked tape. Clips from his past resurfaced everywhere, including the infamous interview where he calmly declared, "I don't care how long they give me. I'll never talk. That's not who I am." The video went viral again, with fans captioning it, "The last real one." The irony was sharp. Gucci, who once wore chaos like a badge of honor, was now the symbol of stability. Younger rappers who used to mock his wild past began calling him the blueprint. One up-and-coming Atlanta artist tweeted, "If I could follow anyone's path, it's Gucci's." He stood tall, changed his life, and kept it solid. That's respect forever. But even Gucci couldn't avoid the whispers forever. Some critics tried to drag him into the Ratlanta mess, accusing him of benefiting from the downfall of others. "Of course Gucci looked clean now," one blogger wrote. "He's sitting on the sidelines while the new wave destroys itself." Fans shot back instantly, defending him as the only one who had the receipts to prove he never snitched. The debate only boosted his legend further. Atlanta itself began to feel like a city under siege, not from rivals, but from within. Collaborations that once defined the sound of the South dried up overnight. Producers confessed that they were hesitant to even share studio time with certain rappers. "If your name's on the wrong track list, they'll call you a rat by association," one beatmaker admitted. The paranoia was suffocating. Clubs and radio stations faced the same dilemma. One station manager revealed off the record, "We stopped spinning certain records." Too much drama attached. Advertisers don't want to be linked with the word snitch. The fallout was bigger than just beef. It was hurting Atlanta's dominance in hip-hop. And that's when Gucci made his boldest move yet. Instead of distancing himself, he leaned into the conversation. During an interview promoting his latest project, he dropped the line that sent shockwaves. "Atlanta done turned into Ratlanta. Too many pointing fingers, too many folding. I stood tall. I never told. And that's why my legacy will never die." The crowd gasped. The internet erupted. And the phrase Ratlanta was officially etched into history. Fans rallied behind him, chanting Ratlanta at shows, tweeting it alongside clips of plea deals and leaks. Critics accused Gucci of exploiting the chaos, but even they admitted the word was perfect. It captured the city's crisis in a way no headline could. Atlanta was officially divided into two identities: the golden trap city it once was, and the Ratlanta it had become. As all eyes turned to the next chapter, one thing was clear. Gucci Mane had solidified himself as the ultimate survivor, the man who weathered scandals, prison, and beef, only to rise as the unshakable king in a city tearing itself apart. The storm wasn't slowing down. Every day seemed to birth a new headline, a fresh leak or another rapper caught in the crossfire. Atlanta was eating itself alive and fans couldn't look away. What made it all worse was how public everything became. Arguments that might have once stayed in back rooms or private calls were spilling straight onto Instagram Lives, Twitter Spaces, and leaked audios. The streets were restless. Atlanta used to be about unity, one old head said on a podcast. Now it's everybody accusing everybody. How you supposed to build a legacy when all your heroes end up called rats? The clip went viral, pulling in millions of views. The comments were brutal. "Facts," one user wrote. "Atlanta ain't Atlanta no more. It's Ratlanta." Another fired back. "Nah, y'all forgetting Gucci. He's the last one who stayed solid." And that right there was the biggest difference. While Atlanta's new wave drowned in finger-pointing, Gucci Mane became the lighthouse. People remembered his darkest days. The shooting with Pookie Lock, the endless legal cases, even the face tattoo era when everyone thought he'd lost control. But through it all, Gucci had one thing no one could take. He never folded. The turning point came when Gucci did a surprise drop. No promo, no warning. Just a single with a heavy beat and lyrics sharp enough to cut through the noise. In it, he didn't name names directly, but the message was clear. Too many rats in the trap, too many snakes in the grass. I did my time. I never talked, that's why I last. Fans went crazy. The song trended for weeks, memed to death and quoted in every debate. Gucci just stamped Ratlanta, one blogger wrote, but not everyone celebrated. Insiders claimed younger rappers felt Gucci was cashing in on their pain, turning their trials into his victories. One anonymous voice said, "It's easy for Gucci to talk. His case is behind him. He ain't in the fire like Thug, Gunna, or Woody. He profiting off our downfall." But the truth was, Gucci didn't need to profit. His respect was already sealed. This only reminded everyone of his endurance. Meanwhile, Thug's situation grew more desperate. Court dates dragged on, evidence piles stacked, and the media kept digging. One journalist claimed there were even more interrogation tapes that hadn't leaked yet. Fans braced for another explosion. Thug's sister spoke out on Facebook, pleading, "Stop dragging my brother's name. Y'all don't know the truth." But the internet, hungry for drama, ignored her tears. Gunna kept working, but the weight of the Rat label was suffocating. Even when he donated to charities and appeared at community events, headlines twisted it into jokes. "Rat trying to buy back respect," one outlet wrote. "No matter what he does, the streets don't forget," another posted. Woody, on the other hand, seemed to embrace the chaos. He became a living meme, popping up in skits and parodies. But the laughter masked a darker reality. Whispers spread that Woody's safety was constantly in danger, that his every move was being tracked. "You can't outlive a rat tag in Atlanta," one rapper tweeted. The weight of betrayal bled into personal lives, too. Girlfriends broke up with rappers, mothers cried on Facebook Lives, cousins blocked each other on socials. "You either Team Thug or Team Gunna. There ain't no in-between," one fan declared. Friendships of years evaporated in a matter of days, leaving scars that might never heal. Through all of it, Gucci's transformation kept shining. Old clips of him stepping out of prison in 2016, slimmer, healthier, focused, resurfaced, reminding everyone how he reinvented himself. "They thought I was a clone," Gucci once laughed. But nah, it was discipline. Fans now looked at him as the living proof that a rapper could survive chaos, come back, and still command respect. And Atlanta needed that proof more than ever. As collabs dried up, tours got canceled, and fans grew more divided, the question on everyone's lips was the same. Could the city ever recover? One radio host summed it up perfectly. "Atlanta used to be the capital of trap. Now it's the capital of controversy. Unless someone resets the culture, the throne is gone." That someone, in many eyes, was Gucci. He didn't ask for the crown, but by refusing to fold and standing tall, he became the default king. The irony was staggering. The man once mocked for his wild antics was now the calm anchor in a sea of betrayal. And as more drama loomed, new trials, new leaks, new accusations, fans braced for the next chapter of Ratlanta. Some prayed for redemption, others craved the next scandal. But one truth echoed louder than all. Gucci Mane stood apart, untouchable, the last blueprint of loyalty in a city drowning in accusations. Atlanta's rap game is in chaos, and the word on everyone's lips is still Ratlanta. What started as whispers and courtroom rumors has turned into a cultural crisis. Friends split, families divided, and fans left questioning everything they thought they knew about loyalty. Young Thug fights to protect his name from endless leaks. Gunna battles the stigma of that one plea video. Lil Woody is mocked and feared at the same time, and rumors around Lil Baby refuse to die down. Every week, another clip surfaces, another accusation drops, and another artist scrambles to defend their reputation. Yet in the middle of this storm, one name shines untouchable: Gucci Mane. The man who survived murder charges, federal time, public ridicule, and reinvention has proven one thing above all: he never folded. And now, while Atlanta's unity collapses, Gucci stands tall as the living blueprint of silence, loyalty, and survival. Fans see him as proof that discipline, growth, and unshakable principles can outlast even the wildest scandals. But the bigger question is, what's next for Atlanta? Can the city recover from the stain of Ratlanta, or has the damage already been done? Will the new generation learn from Gucci's code? Or will loyalty remain just another hashtag in a culture that thrives on betrayal and leaks? Only time will tell. And now it's your turn. Do you think Atlanta's rap crown can be restored, or is Ratlanta here to stay? Who do you believe stood tall and who folded when the pressure hit? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear every side of this debate. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the drama shaking the culture, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next explosive story. Because in a world where loyalty is rare and betrayal is trending, you don't want to be the last to know.